I run 2 Humminbird units on my boat that use AutoChart. On the front of my boat I like to have a detailed map, and at my console I do. So that requires that I have 2 separate SD cards, 2 AutoChart zero lines cards. Well, how do I get that information from one to the other? Well, there's no real easy clean-cut way of doing that. Humminbird has encryption or something that keeps us from copying data from one card to another. Even though you've purchased both SD cards, they're different. And as we explained in the prior lessons, that you can save off your files to your PC and work with them there, but you always have to create the file first on your SD card. Well, if you've got more than one SD card, how's that going to work? Well, you'll notice here that I have LM base 1. That is for my first SD card, and I have an LM base 2. That's for my second SD card. And it's very important to remember which one is which. I have my cards marked so I know which one is base 1 and which one is base 2. So I'm going to go through an example here. I've got two recordings for a lake. There's not much to show, but the important thing is to show you how this works. So I'm going to start off by saying that I want my AutoChart SD card to be present. And so I'm going to do that. I have one card inserted right now. So I'm going to do a map here on this lake. It happens to be OH Ivy. And I'm going to do a create map and create my LakeMaster AutoChart map. So this is my first time to do that. I'm going to click OK for feet. It has created my LakeMaster map. Okay. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to take that SD card out. And I just took it out, and I'm inserting my second card in. Now, you'll notice that the icon highlighted again so that I can click on this, and now I'm going to create that map on my second SD card. So I'll click. Okay, it did that. So now I have created this map on both SD cards. I'm going to replay the site image so I can build the SI file. So it's doing that. It's going through its replay. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Now I'm going to do my LakeMaster map update. Now that just created my SI file on my second card because I haven't swapped them out yet. I click OK. I'm going to take my second card out. Notice that when I take the card out, it changes the display, and this is no longer highlighted. Just stuck my first card in. Okay. Now I can do my update. Okay, now I have updated both of my SD cards. What you want to remember always is that you can put lots of information on your screen. You can load in lots of ACD files, but when you do the LakeMaster update, when you click this button, you need to do it also on your other SD card. What happens if you don't? If I loaded in 5 files and did a LakeMaster update on one chip, and then I loaded another 5 in and did a LakeMaster update on that same chip, and then stuck in my second chip, all that's going to be updated on my second chip is the last 5. So you just got to be real careful when you do this. Now you can also follow the same process if you use a local copy. Remember, the first time that we did this update, we did it on the SD cards. Now, I could create my folders like I did before. I could create a file called OHIV in my LakeMaster Base 1 folder, and I could create one in my LakeMaster Base 2 folder. And I could copy the information, the AC and the SI folders, from my chips onto those folders and do just like we did in the last lesson. And what you have to do is, rather than swapping out your chips, is after you do the Lake Master update, you would come in here and you would change this to a 2, like that. Okay, and then you can do your update. You need to be very careful when you're saving and copying data to your SD cards, because if you created data on SD card number 1 and then loaded it to your PC and processed it and saved it back, everything will work correctly if you save it back to SD card 1. But if you accidentally copy it back to SD card 2, when you load SD card 2 into your Hummingbird unit and you go to overlays and you select AC or SI, it's going to restart on you because it doesn't have the proper encoding on that SD card that it's expecting. So if you run into situations where it restarts on you when you select an overlay, that's what your problem is. There may be times when your cards get out of sync. It could be that your card went bad and you've got a new one, or you just bought a new one. Well, how do you get them synced up? Well, to me, the best way to do that is to always use the chart index functionality that AutoChart provides. If you do that and you create your charts based on this index, then it'd be very easy to recreate